my heart with a good heart. I would like to just say that Senator Boxer has introduced legislation that federally recognized tribes and municipalities must give their consent before there is any oil and gas or other development that occurs in that territory. That should answer all of us. We need to support and ensure that that legislation gets passed. We are also embarking upon a water tribunal for Indian country, for the world, so that when we said we were going to initiate charges of genocide, which the United States passed in 1988, it's called the Proxmire Act. So when you create damage and conditions for another group of people, you need to be charged with genocide. And there was always this question, what jurisdiction? Who's going to do that? Well, we are. We are creating our own forum, an international forum on genocide. And that will be the conditions that they have imposed upon us. But we are symbolic of what is happening in your land, in your territory, in all of our territory. The oil and gas companies have taken the RICA out of America. So we can only love. Amer, we understand their language from Europe. Amer, all of that is left is the love in America. No longer the riches. We are all human beings. We are entitled to the simple thing that matters the most to life, and that is water. So I want to thank you for being here. I was raised on VA pension. My grandfather was a code talker, and my uncles were heroes in Normandy. They're in the book, The Longest Day, A Bridge Too Far, the only recipient of a silver parachute in the Second World War. I know the history of this country. My family has participated in it. So I want we only have our generation, but we need to create peace now. And we need to interpret it for ourselves. And we need to, they split America in half. The RICA is gone. All we have is to love. And we need to go forward in peace. So we're trying to ensure, we created a treaty with over 400 nations that have come here. We have their flags. And we have a treaty to divest. We have already done so at Standing Rock. We have divested from Wells Fargo. The CEO has been discharged. There's a new CEO, and he has an order to cease and desist investment in Wells Fargo. So we are making a difference, but we have some wealthy tribes, nations in this country that would be very helpful if we all divested. We are on that path to divestiture, and we are going to implement a new technology, an alternative energy that will not only be clean, but it will be free. So we are going to change the capitalist world where we have patronized to the wealthy so that we could live. Now it's incumbent upon us to create that energy for our children and our grandchildren so they can live, not only survive like we have for hundreds of years, but thrive in a good, healthy way. And that's the objective of this. So what we say here symbolizes all of the nations, all of the indigenous peoples all over the world, so that we all can have the same equality and live a good life. So it might sound a little too simple for America to understand, not high tech, but we do have the scientists that have come here. We do have the attorneys. We have over 100 lawyers that have come. We have scientists. we have our young people. Most of all, we have the Lakota, Dakota, Nakota. Young people who understand the technology and the language. We have mastered the colonization. We have turned back. And we are casting off the collective memory of trauma and war. And we've taken on our own philosophy. O Dakota means peace. Dakota, Niema Dakota, Lakota. Wo Dakota, Wo Nakota. Wo Dakota means peace. That's who we are. And that's where we are going on our path to freedom. So I want to welcome you here. I want to give honor to the Congresswoman because we're embarking in a universal way to put the female presence forward. We have to, as women, take back the make the balance work. The linear age of man is over. And you know that we are the circle. And the wind is the female of our thunder beings. And she is a telltale sign of climate change. And we have to listen and see her ire and her irate manner. She's the eye of the hurricane. She's the eye of the storm, the tornado. And she's trying to tell us and give us a message. So we've taken back, we've gone to the 7 council fires represents the cultural presence, the ancestral law, and the natural law. And that predates all of written law. The U.S. Constitution and the Declaration, the Doctrine of Discovery. We intend to defy the Doctrine of Discovery. We're going to live on our own land in peace. And we do not want our children to go through what we have had to do. I thank you for being here. I welcome the Congresswoman. We're going to celebrate her existence, her service to our people. She has come here, and it's the greatest honor. We have had great people come to our land. The President Obama came here 2 years ago and honored our children. So we continue. Congress represents our treaty partner. And if there's going to be change, it has to come from the top level, the Congress. The federal court does not have the power to do anything. Does not have power, the discretionary decisions to say that we have to move aside and they're going to build a pipeline across Treaty territory. We hold the title to the Missouri River in the treaty. So if the United States is still a republic, and if it's still governed by the Constitution of the United States, then the supreme law of the land, which is treaties, we will prevail. And we will take them to task. There is no less that we will accept the negotiations of our treaty rights. And only then can we move forward. But we are holding on to our land, holding on to our territory. The rights and provisions of citizenship and governance belong to our people. And we have a say in what happens to the Missouri River. And we own the subjacent rights to the core of Mother Earth. And we own to infinity the airspace. So we will take that helicopter to pass through the FAA. They've been here. They have subjected us to conditions of war. And we will not tolerate it. We will execute justice on our terms. And it's a freer freedom. Our freedom is free. America's freedom is indentured. It's based on confinement, conformment, bondage, and slavery. And we will not tolerate their freedom as they have dished it out. Our freedom is free. It comes from our DNA. There is no other explanation for it. We have survived for a purpose. And this purpose today is our land. And our purpose is a new threshold for all of human life. No boundaries for water. And we have an obligation to Mother Earth to help her reserve her water so that life can continue. She's the giver of life. So, Lila Wopila Tanka, on behalf of my grandfather, my uncles, my aunts, my children, my grandchildren. I have a daughter who was a captain in the army for 20 years, and she committed suicide 2 years ago. So I know that it was conditions of war, but we have honored. We have been good Americans. We have served courageously. We have done our duty, and we have given more in terms of our resources. 300,000 acres to build a dam. We have survived incredible odds, presidential order for massacre. The Great Mayo Clinic was built on the bones of the 38 who were hanged by executive order, so that America could have the best health care, which we don't have yet. But I know that the veterans are owed a lot. And I honor you on behalf of my family, on behalf of the families, the communities on Standing Rock. We hold all of the veterans with very high regard, and we have many who suffer PTSD. So we don't want any of you to have flashbacks. And that is the purpose of our peaceful ventures that we're moving forward, so that you can take on our belief system of peace, that we care about you, care about your health, your conditions, your well-being, spiritually, emotionally, physically. So I thank you for being here. And I especially thank the Congresswoman for coming to help us, to share with us, to pray with us, and to build a new America based on our belief systems. We have a lot to offer. We have always been in the background. We are stepping up, helping to teach all about peace. That is our belief. That is our prayer. That is our religious freedom that we are exercising. So, Lila Wopila Tanka, on behalf of the people of Sirimbo, on behalf of the people of Crazy Horse, and all those who have gone before us, for our ancestors, for your support, for we are the children of those great chiefs. So, Lila Wopila.